All right, Rich, welcome back to the show. We got to hang out in Sweden. And I'm like, let's have you back on the show, man. It's been a minute.
Let's hang. It has been. Non-daily show, just regular interviews. You do regular interviews anymore?
I do regular interviews. I don't think they're as listened to as much, and I'm okay with it. Some people listen to everything. You know, we've talked about, I grew up in a podcast content world, and that's how people knew me. And now many of them just watch YouTube. Yeah. And would you believe, like, people don't know my name? You're the hybrid fitness media guy, because they just watch Instagram and they see content and they haven't even connected. And that's fine with me. The point is, though, with OCR, it was always, oh, hey, Matt B. Davis, right?
Doesn't hurt your feelings a little bit?
No, it's nice. It's nice. They're like, hey, are you the, as long as they don't call me OCR report, you know what I mean? Which would happen in OCR a lot. Hey, you're the OCR report guy. I'm like, no, that's the other guys.
There's Greg and I. You've actually sent me photos of Greg and I. Like, we can kind of look like each other.
Oh, you get Greg from HYROX Life?
No, he gets me.
Oh,
I don't get him.
Got it. Me. I was gonna say, because if they come up to you, just be like, hey, I'm Greg.
Your Greg impression is locked in. I don't have one that strong.
But that's kind of cool, right? If he gets you, it's just like, that's not me.
Yeah. I get JK and I get confused all the time now because of the feed. Like, we both have buzzed hair and feed headband on the course. In the assets, like, they gave us some assets like during media day, and they give you a little folder, and there's a picture of him in mine, and there's a picture of me in his, just because they can't. There's a white guy, short, buzzed hair. So I told him he has to grow his hair out. This is the only way,
because he's young. He can still grow his hair.
There's potential. I don't know exactly, but it seems like he has potential to grow his hair. Not good for you, boy. No one wants that look.
20 years apart.
Stop it. He's like 32.
Oh, okay. Listen, dude. The gap now is so big. In OCR, these kids were like in their mid to late 20s when I was late 30s, early 40s. Now I'm like, they could be my kids' age. You know what I mean? Now it's bad.
No,
not my kids' age, but could be my kids.
Definitely. Charlie Botterill is 16 years younger than me.
Charlie, Lucy, Emily. How old is Dylan?
Yeah. Dylan Scott?
Yeah.
He's 30.
Okay.
He's old now.
For him. I always feel like
around
he's
a long
kid.
time. Good for him. Yeah, because
when
he started, he was a kid, right? Like, now, like, Riker, I always think is young. Maturity-wise, he remains, but biologically, he's 30. He's older now. He's like an adult.
Riker still tries to troll me.
Tries? It doesn't work?
Well, it's like an effective troll. Like, I would buy it. Like, he would, like, I'll post something and he'll be like, that's not true. Or that's not Hunter. Or, you know what I mean? Like, shit like that. And he's it doesn't work anymore.
I like it. It's like the lowest level of try. Like, nah, not true. It's like not putting any other effort into it. Just like, nah.
I miss the guy.
Me too. He's going to be doing Nashville. Are you going up to Nashville?
Dude, Nashville's going to be a party. The whole Atlanta crew is going to be coming up to Nashville.
That's a drive, right?
It's an actual drive, like 3 hours, too short for a flight for me. And yes, many of us will drive.
Are you just loaded up now on your race calendar? Like, what are you?
I don't know. Listen, see my amazing sponsors at the bottom here. If many of them, if I continue to work with my amazing sponsors and new ones that can make that happen and continue to provide coverage sponsorship, absolutely. If not, it's going to be, how much racing do I want to do with Cheryl and or Matt Kemp? As you saw, just signed up for Denver. We had Dallas on a Wednesday. We didn't even want to fucking do it. We just saw it was available, so we took it. And then it was like, hey, as soon as we get a better one, HYROX Radar, shout out HYROX Radar, got an email. Denver's available, mixed doubles, got it. Many, many brands in Denver, many, many athletes in Denver. I think there's going to be buku activations. I know you might be cooking something. So
we're cooking something. Light plug on Sunday from 9 to 1 at Arsenal in Arvada. We're going to be doing a big like HYROX recovery and HYROX event, shakeout run, DJ, coffee, whole deal.
And maybe some news.
Maybe some news. Can't report quite yet.
Okay.
But we got some cool, and they'll have sauna, cold plunge. It's gonna be a real nice time.
So you just said my love language.
Yeah, you're a big sauna guy now, huh?
I fucking love it, dude. Contrast therapy is everything to me. And when you travel in England and Europe, they're everywhere. You just hop in.
Do you have to go to a place? Like, is there a spot near you, or do you have?
So I have a spot. I have a spot that is great. You get your own little room, and it's like $60 for the hour. You can do a 45, but I don't want to rush, so I do the hour. I usually do 3. I do 12 minutes in the hot and 2 minutes in the cold, or 3. And like a day like today would be great because I haven't shaved in a while, so I'd bring my razor and make it a whole little mini spa for myself. But then most days, if I like work out at the Y, I'll just go hot in the hot tub for 10 minutes and then swim, even though the swimming isn't even really cold. So it's not the same. But over when I was just in Ireland, they have these places, and like it's like they're figuring it out, kind of like we figured it out a couple years ago. So they're kind of everywhere, and they're becoming a social thing.
Yes.
But you don't get your own room. It's like a giant one that everybody goes in. So there was one walking distance from my hotel, 17 euros for the hour. And I probably could have stayed longer. They weren't even really counting.
That seems more appropriate, right? The 60 an hour, that sounds more like a spa experience rather than the communal experience, which is just like what they would have, like the big barrel saunas or whatever, and then just like jump in and out. I think that's what they have over here too. And here in New York, that's like they're big now. Kids aren't drinking these days, you know. I think they're just going to contrast therapy to like get out of the house. That's good.
This is part of the gazillion-dollar movement that we are a part of. It's all part of
wellness, health, and fitness.
Yeah, HYROX is but a spoke in that wheel. It's a pretty big fucking spoke, but it's all that stuff. You know, I get the news releases of so much money just being pumped into this stuff. They're going to announce this any day now. This business about HYROX getting. They're not selling it. They're just the Chinese owners are selling their share.
Right.
To the
they already sold some. It's just like kind of a transferring of the
right.
Which is like, I don't think it's going to change much, if anything.
It will change. It should change nothing. Now, people sometimes get stupid, but I think the people who are buying it kind of know that, like, it's not like buying like a distressed property, like, I don't know, CrossFit, where it's like, what do we have to change?
What are we even buying? Yeah, and I don't think there's like going to be like, and Christian and Mo have been there, the ones running the show, operate. I don't believe that there's going to be any change from that perspective, which is like the main thing. I don't think there's going to be any type of shifted control, which is good.
I don't think so either. And when I talked to them, Mo was like, Christian was like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I think he's set with money. So I don't think it's even a deal with him. He's just like, cool. But we happen to own, could it be the coolest fitness brand that ever was? I mean, I don't remember like how big Taibo was, but like, could this be the biggest thing like ever? Really? Again, because of the other pieces, because it's cool to stay sober and cold plunge and meet people, like the singles
community.
Part.
Yeah. The community aspect is just, I do think it was part of their like idea up front, but the way that it has just come alive at the events, it just seems so hard to think that they would realize like that is going to be so important to this thing. You go there and it's just like the most fun. It's just really, really fun. As much as we were like, oh, they need to fix this, they need to fix this, they need to fix this. Like, of course, but like the events are awesome. Pretty much everybody who goes comes out and like, yeah, oh, my judge was giving me grief. It's like, okay, but you still had fun. Almost like no one's like, this sucked. So they're doing something and it's good.
Yeah. Aren't you glad we jumped in early?
The like, I think when you started hybrid fitness media, you were starting to be like, okay, this could be like a thing. But as we were doing it up front, like, you know, the athletes, at least me, Kent, and you were like kind of covering it because it was like the guys that you knew, the athletes that you knew. And like, we were just like, all right, instead of doing OCR, we're going to do this. And maybe some OCR was kind of like blended. I didn't think it was going to be a thing like this, but I think at a certain point you were like, oh, I need to push in a little bit heavier on this, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the timeline, and because it's recent, I happen to know Chicago 2020, that first one that I went to, February 2020. Okay.
That's when Kent won? February 2020?
right before the COVID. It was just before the world shut down, January 2020. Jack was there. Jack Bauer was there because he filmed me doing a 20-minute fucking sled pull. I thought you were there.
In Chicago. No, I didn't do any events pre-COVID.
So Miami had happened 2019.
Yep.
Hunter got Bracken and Kent and a bunch of guys to go down there. And then I can't remember what's that?
Isaiah.
And I can't remember if New York was before or after that, because I think Chicago might have been the third one. And it was like, yeah, this seemed fun. Like I did a video, and in the video I'm asking, like, face standing, isn't it nice to be indoors instead of outside? Like, it's like, is this going to be TMX? Like, we had no clue.
Right.
And then it was April, May 2023. I was like, okay, I think this is a thing. And I'm certainly not a genius. I just thought now is a good time to start. And that's probably about when you did, isn't that? I mean, weren't you guys?
I popped in as soon as I could. Like, I think the first event that happened after COVID was Orlando 21. I think that was like April 21.
Right.
And then there was that. Is that right? No, that might have been later. April, May-ish, something. And then they had like that regional championship in Chicago, and then the next race they also had in Chicago. But no, I wasn't like, oh, this is gonna go blow up. I was like, I just like this better. Like you said, I like that it's indoors. I like that it's predictable. I like that I can actually train for it. This is something that it just seems more fun than like OCR.
Do you want to guess your time from Orlando 2021?
67. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it in the middle. 30.
67-22.
22.
You finished second to who?
David Magida. He was like 63 something.
Amazing. Chicago 22, you're third. Dallas 22, you're third. LA 22, you're second. Houston 22, you're second. Sorry, Houston 23, you're second. Dallas 23, your first victory.
Yeah.
Over, let's see who. Over Marcus Wallace and Anas. Remember Anas?
Of course. I just talked to him. I just talked to him yesterday. It's my boy.
Really? Is he still going to be around?
I mean, he has 4 kids, man. You know, so he's working. He's not like a full-time athlete. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a full-time athlete, but I'm like closer to that than having a job with 4 kids. I mean, but if he wanted to, he could definitely shake it up.
How would you compare your Elite 15, let's say just treatment at this year's World Champs, compared to, like, I don't know, what the first major you were in?
The first major that I was in, I think I was in the first ever major in Chicago, right? That was the first time there was ever like technically a major. If they had the 2 regional championships the year before, the North American Championship in Chicago, and they had a European Championship in Maastricht.
Chicago 24, it says pro men, not elite. So that means it was a regular race, right?
Yeah, so it would be 23.
It's 23. Okay.
I think.
Jeez Louise. Chicago.
Maybe 22?
No, you don't. We've got it for 23. Well, wait, let me look. That's all pro. Let me go to elite. Elite men. Let's see. Elite men. God damn it.
What site you using here?
High result.
High result.
What do you use?
Yeah.
I'm trying to scroll down, and I don't have my mouse, and it's not letting me scroll down. Stop being a bitch.
And there was one, actually there was my second race actually wasn't listed in that like list that you went through, because like, that one's just lost to time. Like the first Chicago, I think it was a North American Championship they called it. I don't know what they were calling it.
So seven World Championship 22. So that's Vegas.
Yes. That was 22. Okay. Yeah. So this would have been 20.
And then Elite Men 23, you were 5th at 58.48.
Yes. So that was the first ever major.
And that was Kent, Rylan, RIP,
yep.
Ronco, Pelayo, you, JK. This is like a world champs roster.
It's still the same people, you know. That's what's crazy. Like, there's new people that come in, and the depth and everything is like tighter. But even if you look at the Vegas World Championships I guess that's 22, right? Or 23, whatever. Like 5 of the top 7 in that race were 5 of the top 7 in this most recent World Champs
22. Hunter, Kit, Ronco, Venish, Scott, Sandy, you, and then then the bottom is different. The bottom is Voisin, Hogan, Mark Marcellus, Cole Schwartz.
Right. And I think Tomas was in there, but he
Tomas was 13th, and then 2 dropouts, I guess.
Yeah, I think Dieter Schwartzkopf was out there. He generally drops out.
That's crazy,
right? It's like, and like, but the spread, like if you look at the spread between I was 7th there and 7th this year, like Hunter, if you're looking at, I don't know, Hunter probably beat me by what, 5 minutes?
Hunter beat you by, he was 58.05. You were 104.38.
Right? Like crazy. But this year I was 7th and I was like 50 seconds from first. So everything's way tighter, but the dudes are not that different. You know, like out of that group, Sandy and Ken, they're both 40 plus. So like, it's just
the women are different though. The women are.
Linda was there.
So Chris, Linda,
yep,
Miriam,
yep,
Alondra, Alyssa Holly, Tara Jackson, Viana Oberlander, Elizabeth Colty, Weeks, very pregnant Weeks,
super pregnant Weeks,
Camilla, Rebecca Nather, and Sabrina Rothig. Oh wait, and then Beatrice, and then Dina. So a bunch of Germans, like 7 Germans.
Right. Yeah,
and
that's
somebody, and then somebody DNF'd.
Well, the women's field has over the last 2 years, the change has been crazy. Like the depth in the men's happened almost like right away, right? And it's taken this long for the women to kind of fill in, and now the women's field is very, very competitive, especially now, you know, with Alyssa, like, you know, other Americans like Rachel Wade coming through, like they're like just really good runners are here now, and it's just
when you were hanging out in the elite room and the women are racing, like what are you doing?
We all watch, not all, most of us watch until the sleds. We just
like on your phones. Is there a TV in there?
There was a TV in Chicago. They didn't have one set up for us this year. I think we could have. They changed the way the lounges are set up. It used to just be like a room where it'd be both of us. And now there is some sort of initiative for them to make it so like there's a men's and women's like basically locker room, which makes sense. And then like an open common area. So it's going to be a kind of like a suite is kind of how they're doing it. So right. That's how it was this year. But we're usually watching on our phones. And like I said, I'll watch until I see how the sleds are moving. And that's pretty much what everybody wants to see. It's like, is it going to be fast sleds? Is it going to be slow sleds? And then once that happens, we kind of have to start warming up. But we'll watch. And then they kind of like, I don't ever see the finish, but I generally know who wins.
Because you're focused on your own race, but you do know people in the race and you're probably rooting for certain people in the race.
Yeah, it's interesting. And like, you know, if there's some sort of like personal interest there, like if it is your friends or someone you're coaching, people want to see, but you got to kind of keep an arm's length a little bit, right? It can't get too excited or too like upset about anything. It's like, all right, let's just see how it's moving and like watch their live stream later. I don't think I've watched the women's live stream yet. I got to check it out still.
Is there Alyssa won going away? Just
she did.
A little tip for you.
Okay. Spoiler. Jeez, dude.
Is the vibe in the room or in the workout area a lot of like sizing each other up? Is there friendly banter?
There's friendly banter between most of us in like the Elite 15 lounge is what they call it. Then once we get onto the like warm-up floor, it's less of that. Like guys are not going to be like super cheery, super supportive. I think the women are a little bit more like they're a little bit more like open and encouraging. The dudes we're pretty cold in the warm-up area.
So I want to know your like at the, you know, in that fucking corral, I want to know, like, is it, I'm going to fucking podium today, or like, you know, if everything goes right, I'm going to win this thing. Like, what is it like for you in those like final moments?
Yeah, it used to be like, all right, like, let's like do this thing. I used to get really, really fired up. And I don't know how much that serves me for such a long race, you know? And at this point, dude, I've done it so many times that it's just like a race. It's not that different than anything else.
You know, Ray Lewis did it every game. Didn't matter. He did his fucking thing.
Yeah. And like, well, he's
LeBron's still throwing chalk, I think.
Ray Lewis is like actually engaging in war, We're just gonna go run around.
Oh, I should have gone with Dawkins instead. Eagles reference.
That's B-Dog, man. I would have been down. I should try to perfect that B-Dog entrance. That should be my thing next year.
That would take up so much energy.
That's what I'm saying.
But maybe do it just once. Be like, is he hopping on the ground like Dawkins?
He's crawling. Is he crawling now?
Doing?
He's a Weapon X.
No, but I see. The kids don't even know that. Go Google Weapon X, everybody.
Nah, dude. Like you were just talking about how the difference. So your references are lost on me sometimes, and I'm just like a generation below you. Your references, and like I can feel my references talking to some kids and be like, I need to not go pop culture like reference here. You can't. Are you still trying to drop references on kids, or is it? Are you just like?
It's funny when when Cheryl's on, I know I can be as old as I want, and so I feel like I'm a little freer. Like we might talk about fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an old TV show. I might make a MASH reference. Barney Miller, you know what I mean? Like those are before my time even, right? I didn't really watch those shows, but right. I don't know. I could drop a Family Ties reference.
Mork and Mindy.
But that's what I'm like. It is weird to be like this much older than everybody. And I used to be more self-conscious about it. And I say this all the time, but Cheryl has really kept me in the game because I was so down on myself after turning 50. And I spent from 50 to 52 thinking like kind of my life was over.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. It's all about, and you know what I think about all the time? And I want to find the clip, but I can't find it. But it was either before or after Foreman knocked out, what's his name? He's like, 40 is not a death sentence. 50 is not a death sentence. And it was like, everybody was starting to get excited and cheering because when you're a kid, 50 is a death sentence.
Right. Yeah. I remember when my dad turned 40, I was like, he had like a 40th birthday party. And I was like, oh my God, like it's so old, So yeah, it's hard. The hardest part is the reference thing. Is trying to make the references. Once you get past that, it's like not that, we're all right.
So back to the start line, you're not going to use all this firing yourself up energy, but what are you thinking about? Like, are you thinking about position?
A little bit. Like, I know how my race plays out. Like, I know I'm not going to be fighting to like try to be up front. I don't really have to worry about what anyone else is doing because I know what I'm going to do. And like, it's been the same guys. Like we just went over. It's been the same guys for 5 years now, so I kind of know what everyone else is going to do. Like there's rarely any surprises. So the way I was like, I had a plan worked out in my head about what I can do. And then there was one spot after sled pull where I had like options versus what I had to do in the race. So like I knew what I was going to do, and I there's nothing I can do in that moment that's going to make me perform better. It's almost like the opposite. Like it can almost make me perform worse if I get carried away energy or change the plan.
I don't do a ton of this on the show, like going through zones and but I think for like shits and giggles, let's do this.
Let's do it.
So when you look at these now, when you look at these times, how do you like, and where you were in the race, like now, like rationally, do you feel like, oh, that was all according to plan?
Ski, yes, coming out having 12th out of 14. I was actually I'm usually like last, so being 12th, like I was like, all right, nice. It says out of 14. Is Cole not in the results? I guess.
Yeah, he was out of the ski erg, so
yeah, so maybe he doesn't count for the full. Yeah, I guess. Sled push is kind of a disappointment. Like that's where came in the sled push, I think in like 12th or something. And I was hoping to move myself up into like 7th or 8th, which I have been able to do in the past. Like in Phoenix, my push was 2.0 something, and I moved up a ton. And then sled pull, same thing. Like I was hoping to be in like the top 5 coming out of sled pull, but I was like 10th maybe. And that was where I had to make that choice. Like, okay, now I need to go harder on burpee broad jumps and run harder than I want to, because I was hoping to be in like that chase pack at that point. So yeah, to me, the sleds are really where I either just wasn't as prepared as I needed to be, or just like wasn't as aggressive as I should have been.
So when you look at it, it's not even a matter of the time itself, because we do know these things can be wacky. It's just, how are you in the field? So when you look at a 220 push, you're not even saying that was fast or slow. You're just like, well, I was 10th and I should have come out 7th or whatever.
Yeah. Like that. Like I'm usually like top 3 or 4. in majors if I execute well here. And like when you do look at it, it was a two, it was Hunter and Ronk that were just like crazy out there. Then I think Tim's was also fast.
But you want that. You're like, good, go fucking blow up, guys.
Perfect. Yeah. Do as much as you want on the sled push now. But I wasn't too far behind when you look at it. If you click into, I don't know if you can click into it here, but it's like, from 5th to 10th, it was probably only 3 or 4 seconds. But still, I wish I was closer to that 4th spot. And like if it was like 2:10 or something, that would have just like put me in such a better position. When you watch like the race that like Louis' race was really the race that I was hoping I was going to run. Like he got himself back in the push, had a great pull, and then was just in the top 5.
Should we give him some love because nobody's talking about him?
He's pretty impressive, man.
I mean, the big deal, right, is Dylan, right? Dylan does what we thought was possible, but certainly not in that way. Big victory, 2 Americans at the podium. Yay, we love Dylan. Yeah. And the other big news is fucking Hunter, right? And the shit that went down there, for better or for worse, right? That's what makes the news. And like, and Tim, right? Because Tim got bumped. So no one is talking about Louis. What do we know about Louis? Let's give him some love.
I mean, this was his first time in the Elite 15. He kind of came on later into the season. He raced in Phoenix and got kind of killed. But then at the very back of the season, he just started like racing really, really well. He's just really quiet, like that is something. If there was gambling odds and it was like the odds of Dylan winning were probably way higher than Louis getting second.
Right.
That to me was the most surprising. And even Alyssa winning, it's like, yes, that's crazy, but I wasn't like shocked that she won. It was more like, oh, this is actually happening. She's like legitimate. Where like Louis getting second was like, what? That is insane. And Charlie getting 4th, like, we all know he has the potential to be that kind of guy, but we hadn't really seen it. And he just being so young and his first time in the world championship race, like those are when I was going through it in my head, I thought 7th place was probably my floor in terms of where I would finish. Like if everybody raced well and I raced like fine, like 7th is what I thought, but I didn't have Louis and Charlie ahead of me. They just raced crazy.
Yeah. And I saw you right after, and you're someone I like talking to, because you're a friend, but also because some people will talk to me win or lose, and you're one of those people. And you didn't seem like mad. You were like, hey, 7th 5 years ago, 7th now. I'm 100 years old. I'm kind of okay with it. Like I know where the mistakes were. Dirt. Right?
Old dirt, dude.
Right. I did think jumping over to the doubles, like I didn't know what your plans were, but I thought, like not winning would be a big disappointment. You guys were like the happiest kids out there.
It was like, so the same kind of thing. Like usually if I finish in like 7th, 6th, or 7th or lower, 6th outside of top 5, usually I'm like in the top 3 and then I fall to 7th or below, So like to be in like 12th and then fight my way to 7th, it's a much different feeling for that outcome than like if I was in 3rd and finished in 7th, I'd probably be like, damn.
Right. Or like when you fell apart against Ronco.
Right. Like that was a disappointment for a bunch of different reasons.
I say that with love. It was also some shitty judging on the wall balls, but yeah, you kind of.
But it was, there was definitely a mental component.
15 out of 16 stations perfectly, as we discussed.
Yeah, right. And like that was a bummer, right? And I got 3rd, and I should have been thrilled, and it's a PR. But like how it happened sucked. So like it was just a different, like so finishing the way that I did with that effort is much different. And same with I think Pelayo was optimistic that things were better, but I don't think he was as confident as we had been the previous year to like if last year we ran the full race and finished 3rd, we would have been not that happy. But again, we were in like 14th at one point after like sled pull, I think. And then we had to fight our way all the way back to finish 3rd. So it was a really fun and exciting way to finish. And yeah, like that was just really cool. And like Tim and Alex were out there. We could, if our sled pull was better, like we get 2nd, like easily.
All right, let's pull that up for the heck of it.
Pull it up. You're a splits guy.
You were the worst of the sled pull, buddy.
Man, and like and that's so okay. You want the whole story? You want the whole excuse?
Listen, we're did you not have a good flight? Did you eat something funny? Or you have a niggling injury? Which one? Is that what you mean?
So yes, sort of. So like the shoes that I was wearing
Jesus, with the shoes.
It's a shoe thing. I was wearing the Wave Rebellion Pro Low, which to me performs the best on like the carpet and the runs, the whole thing.
Say that a little slower for the new kids.
The Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 3 Low. Okay.
Some say you might be a trendsetter in the Mizuno, by the way. Some say.
I agree. But that shoe, honestly, like I wear it because it performs really well on the sled turf and it's like good enough on the runs. But like mechanically, it's honestly not that great. And like it digs into the back of my heel to the point where it like draws blood and bruises my Achilles so bad that like I can hardly walk. Like, so after singles, and like sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. In Ottawa, it didn't happen. I thought it was good, but I was kind of sore going into the race, and then after the race, on both sides of my heels, it was just like really painful to walk. So I was like, I can't wear these shoes again. So I went and got a bunch of treatment done. The next day, like went over to the Adidas hotel. Did you go over there at all?
I did go to the Adidas hotel.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I want to say this doesn't matter to anyone but me, but I'm going to say it now because I thought of it the other day. I saw Alyssa and I was like, hey, quick thoughts. And she's like, hey, may surprise some people, which allowed me to make a great little reel where she says that and then she wins. And I could have done the same fucking thing with Dylan because I hung out with Dylan a couple days before. And I don't know what he would have said, but it probably would have involved something
similar.
Right?
Yeah.
And it would have been amazing. Because we hung out, but you know, when I'm friends with you guys, it's kind of like I don't. It's a fine line. Like, hey, I'm glad to hang out with you, but also can I do content? You know what I mean? This
You're
is
off the
job.
clock, right?
And he would have totally, of course, Dylan would have. If I said, hey, man, but I had just gotten there. We were hanging out. We were hanging out at the Nike gym. What was that place called?
I didn't catch the Nike stuff at all.
Well, it wasn't a Nike gym, but I think they talked about it the most. I think no, because Cole was there too. I think. Anyway, I saw him there. We hung out some. And then there was a Nike house where I didn't make it to, where like you could do stuff with the Mind shoes and some other stuff. I never made it.
Right.
But anyway, Adidas house was super cool though.
Super cool. Supply was Adidas. Brought me over there. They had like a physio on site. He gave me like, because I was hurting after the singles race. Gave me some treatment. And I was worried that I was like structurally going to mess something up. I'd be like Plyo last year. He had an ultrasound. He's like, you're good. Like, you're not going to like rupture this thing.
Ultrasound.
It's just
Are
like,
you pregnant?
They went in and saw the muscle. It's pretty cool. Like, they're like, here's what it looks like. And there's no real damage. So
Did
like,
you feel like, man, now I've made it. I'm a professional athlete. I got a fucking guy doing sonograms on my.
Well, I had to call in a favor. It wasn't for me. It was for my partner. Like, I was just some guy dragged in off the street. So like I have those and I have those Adidas shoes, and I couldn't wear those Mizunos again. And like the Mizunos are just so much better on the sleds, and I just haven't really practiced with these that much that like it cost us quite a bit. Because our sled pull is generally like 230 something, and like the same field in Phoenix, we were like way faster, and there's a world where we're fighting for first, not for second and third.
But so when that happens, are you guys like chatting each other up? Like, let's stay composed. Like, we still got this. Like, where's your head at when that happens? When you leave last?
We know burpees is like a spot for us. So we're like, okay, we just have to go in and just hammer these burpees. Then we just started like running really hard. We didn't, no, not really. We didn't really be like, oh no, we're not doing well. We were just like on the same page, just moving forward.
How are you so good at burpee broad jumps?
He's really fast up and down. You know, I can cover a lot of ground on like the jump, even at this decrepit age, I can still jump pretty far. So the broad jump really is helpful for us. And like, just being a little lighter, a little smaller.
You typically pass people though at this station.
Yeah.
Should we pause and talk about their solution versus your solution?
Yes, we should.
Yes, I'm sure you're going to talk about this extensively on one of the many programs you have. You got Race Brain, you got Irmer, you got who knows what else. You got Race Brain Presents, HYROX Highlights. You got a lot of stuff going on.
HYROX Rundown.
HYROX Rundown.
I'm on that very infrequently, Very infrequent. But they're over there doing a good job covering the changes and stuff.
So their solution was to add 5 centimeters back to the feet and then add 5 centimeters on the hand. What did they do? What have they done, Rich?
What have they done, dude? They added more subjectivity to an already disastrous standard. So I believe you get a 5 centimeter stagger in either direction. Like your foot can be 5 centimeters in front of your. So like,
which improves the 180-degree perfect line they had before, right?
That was crazy. The parallel is insane because like there's no way that standard can be upheld at all. Right. Like you could call somebody on every single time. So somebody was getting away with something and like you can't see it. It makes no sense. And so like most people when they're doing burpee broad jumps, right, they're stepping up with one foot and they're bringing the back foot up to meet it 2 feet, like as close to underneath their shoulders as they can, and then they're jumping forward, right? So what it used to be is that your foot just couldn't go past where your hands were. So you were allowed to stagger in either direction, but then they said people were getting away with a lot. And I think it's right to not let the second foot that you pull up to your first foot to go in front of it, right? To stagger in a way that your back leg goes in front of your already planted foot.
Who's that flexible? I don't even know how to do that.
No. Like if you're stepping up, right? Like your hands are down, you're and say your left leg you step up with first, and then like your right leg you bring it up. That right leg, that right foot should not be allowed to go in front of where the left foot is already planted.
Right. Like, so from where I'm sitting, I feel like that's just the natural moves to make it equal. But yeah, fine. Okay, keep going.
Right. And they were trying like, okay, let's make it parallel. That's what they tried to do. It's like, okay, it's impossible. So they should allow it that your right foot in this scenario can step up behind your left foot because there's no advantage, right? So if there's a stagger, a reverse stagger should be allowed, but a forward stagger should not be allowed.
Correct.
But now they've given us 5 centimeters in either direction, and it's so stupid. It's right there, so you can step in front of your foot now, but for 5 centimeters, which no one knows how much space that is.
Americans don't even know what a centimeter is, Rich.
Not even close. How many inches is 5 centimeters?
3.
Is that true?
Hey, Siri, how many inches is 5 centimeters?
Let me pull up ChatGPT real fast.
My phone.
Yeah, we can't. So we don't know. If technology's not going to tell us, I don't have a ruler. No one has a ruler. So like now that's just like it was right there for them just to be like, you cannot make any forward progress in a staggered stance, but you can step in reverse as much as, and if they wanted to make that 5 centimeters, fine. If they didn't want it to be like a huge stagger stance for people, even though like if you went, go, you got the answer?
It's 1.9685.
Of course.
So it's 2 inches, which I think is that much. Is that 2 inches?
I don't know. Just look now.
Right?
I think so.
I'd wait for somebody to make that joke. I mean, I think
that's
what is that an inch? Is that 2 inches?
2 inches, yeah, about I don't know, yeah, something like that. So
really hard to tell.
Really hard to tell. 1.9 inches, like who knows? So like that just makes it so much worse. If that front foot you cannot step in front of. No, the back, but it can be as far back behind you as you want. Like it doesn't matter. Because if you were doing like, if you went to like the NFL Combine, right, and they do a standing broad jump, no one's going to do it in a stagger stance because it's not an advantage to jump that way. It's better to be planted directly underneath your shoulders. That's how you're going to get the best jump. So why does it matter if you're staggered backwards?
Correct.
And they're just like giving us that wiggle room in front is so silly. It makes it's just opening it up again.
It seems like when you start a race, you write a rule book, you okay, let's go. We're 7-8 seasons into this now, and so it seems preposterous that their solution would be to make it more vague.
And like it's like maybe it will help reduce the stagger penalties, but like it's still going to happen. Be like, that's more than 5 centimeters. Like, no, it's not. Like, so I don't know why they didn't just be like, you can stagger behind, but you can't stagger in front at all. That's like the solution to.
So that's one half of the jump. That's one half of the standard.
Yes.
The other half of the standard
is the 30 centimeters from your toes to the palm of your hands when you're coming down, which they did not change, right? That's
okay. They didn't change that.
They did not change that. And that's what Hunter was getting called on.
That is 11.8 inches. So it's almost a foot.
Almost a foot. Right. And that's like, that standard is like, that's just what it is. We need to make it clear that that's what it was. What did you think about Hunter's burpees? Were you?
So I think they were close. And I think if they're close, your job is to make it like, don't be close. But do I think that he might have had an overzealous judge? Perhaps. Did I think he might have made it worse with his attitude? Perhaps. So I could definitely not say that. I've heard people say those are definitely bad. I would not say they're definitely bad. I would say it's like, we do in the NFL. I know you'll get this reference. It's like, if it looks about, they're only going to overturn it if it's okay, this is 100% out of bounds. And if it looks about close, they're going to go with whatever they said in the field. So to me, they were close. And the whole thing is, again, I don't think you guys were like flying when this thing started. Like, people weren't like throwing their legs out, because it's so much harder to see now. If you're me, right, it's very easy to see. I put my hands down. I don't throw my body out because I'm afraid it'll fucking break something, right? My bones aren't, you know what I mean? Like, so again, when they wrote the rule, maybe, I don't know where burpee broad jumps were in massive competition, so I don't know what other place this ever was. But the point is, by now, it's like, okay, this is very vague. It's very hard to look at an invisible line that doesn't.
It's really hard to judge. Really hard to judge.
So why don't we put actual lines, which is what you have said, which is what Dave has said.
Right.
Again, you can't tell me it's a production issue because you add 20 extra minutes into your build. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like, oh my God, this would take us 5 hours every race. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like, for the opens, for the elites, it's not that hard to make tape and roll it out.
And if anything, if they don't want to use tape or whatever, like, just because for whatever reason, it'll ruin the carpet, right? And if they want to produce the carpet to have the actual lines on it, maybe that's a barrier where it's like, okay, now we have to buy and print new carpet to set the standard. Maybe they're just like not willing to do that right now.
Again, that's an expense they should do it.
Right. And maybe when this,
again, it's not just for the elite race, right? It's for 10,000, 20,000 people who, by the way, many of them are brand new. It would be a huge help as they step to the line. They go, what do I do? And the lady or man would go, oh, just keep your hands inside this box when you go to the next box. Okay.
Right. And the judge can see it. And when people are fudging the standard, they probably think that they're close to it, but if they're not getting called or they can't see that they're cheating, they probably don't really think that they're actually cheating. They're like, all right, this is what it is. And that's like, with the Hunter example, like, he very well could have been within 30 centimeters where his hands landed from where his feet were, but you couldn't tell. Like, there was too much wiggle room.
So you agree with me there? It's not 100%. Either way.
I think it could have been good, but like,
because I know people say like those are definitely bad, and I'm like, I don't think you can say that. Not from the angle we had.
No, you can't say definitely. You can't say that they were good either. They're like, this is close. But I used to do my burpees like that, where my feet would just go back before my hands because it's a little faster if you can move that in a dynamic way. But I was getting called for no reps all the time. So I was like, okay, I can't do my burpees like this. So I need to like slow them down and like make it clear. And we saw each other in Hamburg where I went over the top with that. I was literally like putting my hands on the ground.
Right.
Like, I was just like bend over. And
I was watching you like get passed by people, and I felt bad for you.
Yeah, because I every major before that, I made a bet that race. I was like, okay, they're gonna be super strict on this standard, and like everyone's gonna get no reps, and no one was getting no reps. So yeah, I mean, it sucks that we have to change what we're doing, even if we're within the standard, to like make it clear that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. When it should just be easy to call, so like it's a bummer that way. And that'll happen with the wall balls too, right? It's like you're hitting the standard, but like just below the standard, and the judges don't think that you're hitting the standard. So they're like, that's a no rep. And it's like, no, it's not. It's just like, you can't see it. Or if it's too fast, they can't see that. And they're like, that had to be a no rep. It's like, I promise you that was good depth, but So you have to, so as athletes, unfortunately, we have to adjust how we're doing the movements to show that it's clear.
Yeah, and I think in the wall ball example, consciously or unconsciously, they're like, well, I can't change my position now. I keep, I remember Janelle in last year's Worlds that happened, and it was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Right. It's like, I've set my own
ass
standards.
is touching the fucking dirt. Like, what are you doing? And
Right.
It was like that judge decided that was a no rep for whatever angle or reason, or the way her legs were shaped, or because she has a long torso, the opposite of a torso. Like, so yeah, I think, yeah, but I do want to say that what you did was not go on and like you did say it sucked, but you didn't hate on a particular judge, and you changed it. Like, it used to be you could knock somebody's head off in pro football, and now defense has to play different, and they're bugging about it, but it's like, hey, I got to learn to play within the rules. So maybe we're 2 years away from this, because they're not going to do it after a year. They'll be like, well, we can't give it up. We decided this is the rule. Maybe 2 years from now, they go, okay, now we'll try it your way. Now
yeah,
we'll
maybe
try it with Lions.
Maybe they do have like a carpet budget that they need to or center needs 2 years to produce it or something like that.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but they're about to get a bunch of money. They're about whoever sold it is going to get a bunch of money, and then those new people can maybe invest a little bit more.
That's the thing. Maybe that's the thing. Because I mean, it does need to be just cleaned up, because it's unfortunate now because once they make the rules, and they've probably been working on this rule for a year, right? And once they're made. So we have to deal with this, and we're going to have these same conversations next year. And that's what sucks the most, is that it's not going to fix anything. And now last year we were getting called on staggered so much, because for the judges, that was what was easier to see. So I think they were putting most of their focus on how these feet were coming up. Now they're going to be looking at the hands versus feet again, and they're going to be calling no reps there, because they're going to be, their focus will change away from the feet.
Yeah. When I heard that staggered feet, I had heard something was brewing. I assumed they were getting rid of it, and what they've done is make it worse.
I thought that they were going to do just what I was saying. It's like, okay, you can do a reverse stagger, but anything in front is no good. But to make it opaque in both directions, just oh.
What is your understanding? Because the other thing that came up was when it came up with Hunter and with Tim, it was something about they didn't dispute it, but then it turns out you can't dispute anything anyway. Like, what's the speech in the room that we don't get to hear? Like, what's the understanding of the athletes?
Yeah, so this happened to me in Phoenix too. I know that you can't dispute movement standards. And right after the thing, I was like, hey, can I review these no reps? And they're like, no. I was like, what can I review? I think it's you can review if you stepped on the line or not on sled pull. Like if they miss if it's a bad call, that's something that is clear, that it's not the movement standard, or if you jumped over the line or you didn't jump over the line for burpee broad jumps. I think that's what you can dispute. I actually, and I think you can, well, you used to be able to dispute, right? If other people were cheating.
Right.
But only sometimes they would. So I'm glad that they changed that. But I actually don't, I'm not super clear on, or maybe if there's an altercation, where what was it, Ellie Stenforce when she knocked over Emily, or if they didn't call that bad, maybe you could have some sort of dispute there. I'm actually not sure.
Yeah. Well, I said before, many times, I said this is going to cost them at these big races like Worlds, and it did, and I think it will continue to do so, for the sole reason that this 2 rule books exist, but we're going to say they don't. I think that reason alone makes everybody unclear.
Yeah, and I think about it sometimes. In every sporting event, there's bad calls. It's never going to be 100% hit rate on the right calls, and it's just unfortunate that it's just so costly in HYROX to have a bad call. And it can't go other ways, right? If you have an official in the NBA, he's making calls in both directions, and if he's consistent, at least with bad calls, at least it's the fairness is evened out. But it's not like that here, where it's if you just have one judge on you who's just like making different calls than a judge 2 athletes down, then it's like unfair.
Well, and no other sport, individual or team, do they hold meetings that they tell you, here's a bunch of rules that we're going to clarify or change, but don't tell anybody and don't record it, and we're not going to tell anybody. Like no other sport does that. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with things like that.
Hang on a second. My phone is now back on. Where the heck was I? So schedule was just announced.
Yeah.
You said you're probably not going to race a ton. You now have many chances to race, many more than there was before.
It's great.
You're in Colorado, which puts you like not too bad a flight from, I don't know, Texas,
everywhere except
Portland,
East Coast.
Ottawa.
Yeah. Ottawa's kind of far. Ottawa was far. SoCal is good.
SoCal, Phoenix, Vegas.
Do you know where Ottawa is?
It's in the middle of Canada, isn't it? Closer to the east.
Yeah, it's like almost by Quebec. It's further east than Toronto.
Oh, okay.
It's way out there. I thought it was closer. I thought it was more like above Michigan, but it's like it's way.
Yeah, I thought it was more in the middle. I'm thinking of whatchamacallit, where they just announced a Deadly Dozen. Alberta. Alberta's more in the middle.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is it's not all East Coast. It's not all 5 hour, 6 hour flights for you. So what are you thinking with the new schedule, singles and or doubles?
Right now, singles is going to be the focus. Contemplating doubles, not sure. Salt Lake is on the
and Salt Lake City. Geez. And your home turf in Denver.
These are good ones. At altitude. Yeah, it's great. And that was like, how do you think this is going to affect the system? Is it too many races for the point system? Like, can too many people get the max score?
Well, I remember when they said there's not going to be any ties, and there's a ton of ties already. It's going to get more ties. And I think if you're someone like Dylan, like he's already good for a year pretty much, right?
Pretty much.
But how much does he want to race to stay sort of in shape? He's a guy that likes to race a lot. Does he stay that way? Do his sponsors and his manager tell him don't race less? Does he listen? But somebody like a Jack D, right, who's going to go to every race because he knows this is my shot. I'm not as fast as the top 5 guys, but I can certainly at least get in there if I just show up to every race. I'm not knocking Jack, you understand? So I don't know. I think we're going to need a year or 2 of this before we decide, is this like, are the right people there, right? Just like if you looked at this year, were the right people in the Elite 15? Probably.
Seemed like it. Yeah, seemed like it. Without that
one female who like didn't have the license in time or forgot to register or whatever. It was Saskia maybe or somebody else could have maybe snuck in there. But that's
on her. That's on her. Yeah.
But other than that, I'm saying, like, is the Elite 15 field correct? That's kind of the question we always ask.
Well, this year without the regional championships, I think it'll make it better. I mean, like, just because the regional championships were not as strong as a major. Right. So it left some room for athletes that didn't qualify out of Europe or whatever, who could have qualified in APAC or North America. That was probably the only thing. I like the regional championships. I thought that was like a cool, fun event. But in terms of getting all 15, that was probably the one thing where that they're cleaning up a little bit too. Because this year they're not doing that. They haven't announced it. Do we do rumors? Do we know
majors?
Yeah.
I mean, I might know, so I don't think I can talk about it.
You can't talk about it. All right, we won't talk. But there's not regional championships this year.
We know there's not regional. That part we know, not for you guys, but they still haven't decided whether like open regional championships will happen. Have they?
Oh, they have not? That? I don't know. They should.
We can talk offline where I think the majors are.
Yeah. They should have like an age group regional championship. I mean, the open one is like they should have open and age group. You know, so there is like a way to qualify in, or just make it, like have a pro race for it.
Right. And it seems weird just to like, there was only 2 days in DC. So it's like, why even bother? Like we need these 3-day events. We're getting 4 and 5. And then fucking London and New York and Manchester are now all 10.
Crazy. If they had Do you think they could sell out a month in London?
I mean, I don't know if they could get the venue for it, but
just hypothetically, could they get the people?
I don't think they could sell it a month. I think 15 days is probably the max. Probably we got everybody. We got everybody who ever thought about doing one. Like,
I want to see
2 weeks is pretty amazing.
It's great. It's great. It's so cool they can do it.
So did you see, and I don't know that this is a fact, but they never did it before. But do you think like they're making like London Marathon 2 days now? And I think that's what's going to happen to all the big ones. And I think it's like, oh, they're learning from HYROX. Like, why are we doing this thing on one day? Let's fucking go for it. I'm serious.
Wow. I did not know that. That's right. Like instead of selling out right away, it's like, yeah, and that's probably a little trickier, just red tape wise. Just so much.
You got to close off the streets,
covering so much more space. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy though. That's great.
The race will take place on Saturday the 24th and Sunday the 25th. This expanded double format will double the event's capacity to 100,000 runners.
Wow.
To accommodate record-breaking demand. So, like, yeah, I mean, you only have to close the streets for a certain amount of time, though, right? Like, it's not, well, it's pretty much all day if it's a marathon, right? Like, here in Atlanta, we have the July 4th 10K, and it's like 50,000 people. Maybe they'll do it 4th and 5th, and like they close the thing at 1. I don't know. But, yeah, this has never happened before, that multi-day marathons.
I like the idea of it. There's just, like, corruption involved, just paying off the politician bureaucrats to like who need to make these decisions. Be like, sure, we can have it 2 days, but I need my pockets lined a little bit for that.
Do you think the World Cup is fixed?
Dude, I've just been like soccer, football. Have been not invested, unfortunately. Are you in? You locked in?
No, far from locked in. Watched some highlights some of the time. Like when I was awake in Dublin, I'm like, there's 8 channels. Is there a game on? Right. My city has it. My city has World Cup fever. It's very exciting for the city. They just had a free concert that Ludacris played. It poured rain. Everybody stayed. It was great. So and my son went down one of the nights to the thing. So like, I'm happy for my city. But no. And of course I was hoping USA would stick around, but I don't have a dog in the fight. I usually watch highlights the next day.
Yeah. It's just a little bit boring, man. I hate to say it. It's just like, it's hard to watch a 0-0 freaking outcome.
I mean, some could say the same about pro basketball. Just tune into the last 5 minutes.
Sure. Yeah. But, and like, I didn't play soccer. I play basketball. So like, I will appreciate it the way soccer, football athletes can appreciate the whole game and like, build suspense and like things are definitely happening even if there's not scoring. I understand. But it's just like, if I'm going to spend time watching something, I can't justify it right now.
I don't know what year it started, but I only care about pro football. I barely keep in touch with anything else. It's hard enough to keep. I don't know how these guys do it. Like when you hear Schrager talking, I mean, I know he's younger than us, but when you hear Schrager talking or Simmons talking, what's that?
He's younger than me.
Schrager?
You lumping me into us here?
How old is Peter Schrager?
I'm elder millennial. Okay. You're
he's 44.
He's older than me. Come on, bro.
So he's 10 years younger than me. But like when him and Simmons are like, yeah, I don't know about the Chargers. They did just get a new left tackle, and then this happened, and then this happened. Like, how do you have that much info in your head?
Right. Like I follow one
sport. Yeah. I follow one sport, and you and I can't remember Chicago 22 versus 21.
And like the way that they talk about, like I can watch one team. And I still don't know all the players on the team that I watch every week.
Right.
And they know every player on every team and how they impact the end result.
I mean, I kind of get it in that when that's your world, there's never a room where SportsCenter isn't on. Right. And it's your whole Twitter feed. Like our whole Instagram feed is, this is why HYROX sucks. Right. Like that's their Twitter feed about sports. So I get it to some extent. But yeah, I don't know how any sports beat writer keeps tabs on everything all the time, especially as I get older and older.
Right. Like that's their job, right? So when they're not talking about it, when not on air, they're like doing research. All their downtime is probably like, how can I talk about this? What's going on? Like, what can I analyze? It's a lot of stuff. What's your take on that? Like, people using HYROX just to get clicks.
Oh, come on, dude. It's well, I argue with my buddy Ugly Dave all the time because Dave will pick fights with them. I'm like, Dave, they don't care. Like, right. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's funny. I saw, what did I see the other day? Like, so now lately, everybody's been sharing this story about HYROX potentially being bought, which, by the way, like, there's no actual facts behind it yet. And so it's like, it's all rumors, but people are like, here's why this is happening. And here's this. And it's all just, it's just easy clickbait garbage. And
with people that don't really know, they're not like experts.
Well, I think the move now, which I actually do more of now, is the straight to camera, here's my thoughts. And I didn't used to do that as much, like even like OCR, like I just didn't. But because
you're making sure you have your name there, so when people see you in events, they know your name.
Exactly. I don't even care.
I don't really care. I don't care. No, it's fine.
Listen, if you follow this stuff, awesome. That's a victory.
The content is an extension of your name.
When they come up to you and say, I really appreciate those videos I've seen of yours, doesn't that feel nice?
It's great.
That's exactly how I feel. It's exactly how I feel. Especially when they say, hey, thanks for keeping it honest. Thanks for calling HYROX out when they need to be. That feels really good because that's what I work really hard on.
Nice.
So anyway, I try to ignore it. Instagram is such a cesspool. Like it's like, I mean, it's just butts. And then here's person saying HYROX, and then here's yet another HYROX coach. And there are people in our world who do a lot of it, right? There are people who actually do HYROX coaching who have a lot of here's what you're getting wrong. Like people do all the stupid tricks, which I hate. We talked about this. I hate all the tricks. I just remembered I'm talking tonight, Rich. There's like one of these like studio like hubs where they have like you can make content there. Like there's a prison scene and a hospital scene, and you can do podcasts from there. And like this guy saw my stuff. He's like, hey, would you give a talk on like podcasting? And I was like, well, I'd like to do on podcasting like and social media. He's like, sure. So like that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be like, guys, there's no fucking rules. Like ignore most of what you see online. And don't believe any of that bullshit. Because like, here's what really bugs me about HYROX. You know what I noticed? Like all the stupid hooks that they tell you to do. I don't do any of that.
Right. You do more like frequency and things that's useful information. The hooks do work.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying it's never something that like I do to then get people to stick around.
Right. Because the information, I mean, I think you've built up.
What are your hooks?
I don't do a great job with the hooks because like I feel the same way because the ones that work so well are generally driven off negativity and like fear, right? So it has to be like, here's what you're doing wrong. Here's like this and that, and like then it's like me positioning myself and polarizing is better, right? If you say something that people are going to disagree with, like then like that's or things that are going to get kind of shared around, that's also better. And I don't love that idea. I don't start making content with the mindset of like, what can I do that is going to spark some kind of emotion in a negative way, right? I'm generally like, what can I do that's going to be like helpful?
Well, this is why you and I get along.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I've said many times, I could post 100 bad judging, 100 bad wall balls. It would then inspire people like they do to Hiller, send videos every day because they know that's the guy that's going to talk about it. I could do, based on today's post, HYROX is going back to the pier. Good idea or bad idea? Tell me your thoughts. I could do that all day. And it's like, just not who I want to be. It just feels lazy and cheap. And again, here's the thing, dude. Why people appreciate what you do, for example, is because you don't do that. And it's more even unconscious. Like you did a great video on burpee broad jumps. Then they watch something else of yours. That's actually quite helpful. And then over time, there's something from Rich. I will now watch that. Whereas if you just did the garbage, you're just going to be like everybody else.
Right. And it might help with like the initial follow, right? Like there's this one handle that is HYROX something or other that is just AI. Like it is only making AI content, and it has almost like 100K.
I'm sure
followers. People see like one of it, like, oh, and then eventually you see more and more like, oh, this is all kind of like AI slop. It's all kind of trash, and they're just doing those things that are like the hooky type, bring people in, kind of negativity thing, or then having some sort of like polarizing image. But like there's no like soul, right? There's no value. There's not a person, so there's not gonna have like trust. But in the game of what we're what's very frustrating with this, right, is that when it comes to, we talked about sponsors a little bit, when it comes to they only care about Instagram. They only care about Instagram numbers. That's like, that's basically it. I've had conversations like, yeah, Instagram. I'm like, so what do you try? So you're just impressions. You just want people to see it. Maybe you don't want people to like actually like engage with it and trust it and like feel good about where the information is coming from. You just want eyeballs. So like, that's what's annoying when the people can play these games and then they're getting deals over other people because it's just straight up numbers. Right. So like, I get why people do it.
Yeah. And I'm in a different position than you. So I don't know what I would do if I were a coach to try to differentiate. Because for me, like I do get really good traction on my, like, you know, like I show them not just thing, but the reach, that number that says, here's who you've reached in the last 30 days. And that keeps getting better. And I'm doing really well with it. And it would be even bigger if I went the way you're talking about, right? This garbage way. And there are sites that beat me on search, right? But again, I think people learn to trust. So then they click on you more next time, right? If they like, where's HYROX next or whatever HYROX, and they see the site and they see the site is just clickbait garbage, they leave and then they maybe get to mine and then they stay longer. Like I've had long conversations with my best friend ChatGPT about this. And it's about, you know, you just said it, it's about building trust. And the thing that I've really had to remember is it's mostly invisible, right? You don't get that right away, but one day you wake up and like I've seen you at races, many people come up to you. It's not because of one video you did.
Right.
It's because of a consistent quality thing you've done. And again, it's not like they consciously know it. Rich, by the time I saw your 7th video, I became a fan. I mean, they don't even know it. They just know they trust you.
Right. And that's like the difference. Like I used to think like a viral video is like the thing.
Right.
And that's like, yes, that will get you, that might get you a lot of followers, but like if you can't follow it up, if you can't do like have like the meat behind it, behind like the flashy cover, like that's basically like the cover of a book, right? If you don't have like the good content in the book, it doesn't really matter. And that's to me what YouTube is, right? Because you have to opt in to YouTube, right? Like you're not just shown something of course there's an algorithm that will pop up, you know, a thumbnail or a video that they might think that you are interested in, but the people still have to click, right? They have to opt in to actually watch it. So it's like the attention that you're getting there is just so much greater than what you're getting on.
But let me ask you, if we could just get into this, since we're talking about it, you do these great videos, teaching ones. Why aren't more of those on here? Like with the clickable title that says BBJs or better wall balls, or why not do more of those?
It's like,
is it a time thing? Because I know that's usually the answer. Is like, I would love to clip every video I make. I don't have time. Because I don't even do that. I don't even do every guest. I don't even do every guest that we have on here anymore because I just don't have time.
They just don't work that well. They don't work the same way on Instagram.
Better BBJs, better wall balls don't work for you?
Not really. That's what everybody's doing, right? And it's just like, so to differentiate on that end, there needs to be something like skewed in a way that like, don't do this for wall balls or something like that, or like big red X's and things like that. Like that's what moves the needle on Instagram, and I don't like it. So like I use Instagram more as kind of like my personal brand side of things, and then like a lot of the teaching stuff is over on YouTube.
Right.
Like I probably could, and if I kept going, I could probably hit it. But I think if I kept doing it and like trying to make it, I would land where everybody else lands. Be like, okay, this negative stuff is what's working, and like then I just would feel like, and like, you know, maybe I should do it more to bring more people in and be like, well, the content underneath it is valuable. So like I could, like, I probably could, but I don't want to do what everybody else does. And that's what I feel like Instagram is.
I wish you could come with me to this talk tonight. Cause like, that's all I'm going to say. And I'm like, here's the real secret. By the way, guys, before I start, let me tell you the real secret. Bust your ass for 15 years and maybe you'll get a break. That's the real answer with anything. Right. Whether you're a restaurant or right? Like completely bust your ass, hopefully get a break. It might work out for you. That's the real answer to success.
And that's why I feel like it's bad advice in like a social media, like panel or whatever, to be like, well, you know, just be authentic, do your own thing. It's like, I don't grow if I do that. Like I'm not making the moves, you know, but it's like, it is better long-term and like maybe you can find a way to make your authentic.
I feel like there's a window here. I feel like maybe you gave up too soon. I don't know. I feel like, again, the same way people found you on YouTube, you can have them find you. Or, I mean, the like would take a lot longer, but you actually start a different channel called Rich Ryan Training, which I know you already have Irmer and your own, but like, and then that's what people like when people are looking for training, it shows up in the algorithm more. Cause again, like my show doesn't do that. Like we don't go into the splits and all that. And like people, like I always, in OCR, I would say like, go to the running public. They're going to tell you about good shoes. That's not my channel. So there are people who just want training tips. I mean, you know them because you talk to them all the time. You have a coaching business.
Right.
So
it could just throw it out there. Right. It could definitely work. And maybe I will like double down on it. So maybe, but yeah, that's probably the way to grow. And it's just like more frequency.
Because I don't do nearly as well as YouTube as you do. And I could, if I took the time, but again, like to me, I'm a one-person show still. And so it's like, I'm all in on Instagram, baby.
And that's kind of thing. Like, I don't want to edit all those freaking Instagram videos.
I know. When you have AI help you, like they get it wrong 90% of the time. Once in a while, they get like minus a couple. Like you'll see that if I quickly go to it and it has Ugly Dave or Cheryl or me saying something that's cool, I'm like, okay, let me throw that in there. And I would certainly grow faster if I did more of it. But I also like, I don't schedule anything. Like literally, like it's like when I was in Dublin, I forgot something happened. And I was like, all right, let's talk about this. Right. And it's like, that's how I do it.
Right. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way. One thing that did help me for social media growth was maybe this was 6-8 months ago. I was like, I'm just going to post every day. I was like, this month I'm going to make a post every single day. And then it's like, I learn what takes the most time, what's best bang for buck on that way. And that's definitely helpful. But like, I think you're right. I think the real answer is where I've invested monetarily is YouTube. And now it's like, and that's worked. And like, I don't have now the funds to invest over here.
Right, exactly.
Or the time.
Right. Like somebody might tell us we're idiots for still not having Snapchat, right?
Or TikTok.
Sorry, TikTok. See how old I am? Snapchat. I said Snapchat.
It's like, it's popping. I heard MySpace.
Like 2 years ago, it was like, I should really get on TikTok. And people like, just post the same thing. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. It's different languages. You got to know how it speaks. You got to know how it, and that's the one thing I can say. The one thing I can say that I don't know how to use the word mastered, but I think I got Instagram pretty well. I think I know what people like and want in a way that serves me without being clickbait garbage. And I know how to do that.
Right.
And I don't post it at 10 o'clock at night. That's the other thing. What's the best times? Not 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Other than that, you're fine. Don't post when people are asleep.
And that's how I feel about YouTube, right? It's like, if I'm feeling like I'm getting better at telling the story, knowing how the things should look, how it should start, what people like, what's going to draw people in, when to have different things, the different placements in terms of like what kind of content works well in the course of just like a schedule. Like the Instagram, I just haven't done the investment of that mentally to learn it to the point that I need to like do really well on. And also like, I should probably hire a videographer, write 20 scripts, send a bunch of B-roll to an editor, right? And see if one of those hit. Right. But like, I'm doing that in YouTube, and then to do it over here, I just don't have the resources.
I get it. I think also with YouTube, every Elite 15 athlete is doing these vlogs, and over the course of a couple years or even a few months, you're going to see like, oh, this person doesn't do videos anymore, but still has videos. Rich Ryan, again, just building that trust. I think that's what it's about.
For sure. And it's a harder barrier for entry for YouTube, which I also like.
Also, like if you won the world championships, that would have helped.
That'd be great. I wish that would have happened. That would have killed it for my Instagram following. But
dude,
I was
you would have
stupid.
been like, what's his name? Mbappe and fucking Holland.
Holland. Yeah, that was such a stupid. I should have thought of that.
Why didn't you just win the World Cup?
That was such a good idea. I should have just been really good at soccer.
I want to say for the record, River Davis, massive Erling Haaland fan, way before he became.
Before he was cool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he was always very popular, but it's a little much. A little oversaturated now.
What? Imagine being him in it's Norway, right?
Yeah.
Imagine him he probably can't go anywhere. He probably has to live He'd be better off. Like, I was thinking, I don't think I would recognize anyone on the U.S. team. And like, he'd probably be better off living over here, you know?
Right. And even after, and like maybe now get recognized, but in a few months they wouldn't. Did you go to the big wedding? Were you invited to Madison Square Garden for Taylor's wedding?
You know, they're from Pennsylvania like me. So we have a lot in common that way. She didn't grow up too far from where I grew up.
Really?
Yeah, she grew up in like Reading. They moved to Nashville when she was like 12 for the music. But she's from Pennsylvania.
Okay. Speaking of Pennsylvania, big news. Task season 2.
Is that right?
Task season 2. And people were kind of saying like, does that and Mayor of Easttown, are they the same universe? Because it kind of is.
What do you think?
Well, now they've decided they're doing it. So what's her name?
She's back?
What's her name? Winslet? Kate Winslet is back. Catherine Nichols Wheeler is back.
Okay.
So now they've definitely merged the worlds. I'm always a little worried though. When you have such a good fucking show, season 2 is almost always a letdown.
The storytelling in Task season 1 was incredible.
Dude, I went back.
Good.
Dude, and I went back and watched Mare actually because I hadn't seen it since I think it came out, and it was so amazing. And it's just like, I'm so happy when people give me an original fucking story and original characters. We just watched Weapons, my wife and I. Have you seen Weapons?
Amazing.
So I'm not a horror guy at all. So I'm out on almost all horror anyway. Like the minute I hear horror, I'm like, I'm out.
Did you think it was scary?
I don't like being scared. Well, let me get to this. My son, who, you know, when your kids get older, you like, anytime they want to spend time with you, you're like, yes, let's do that. So he wanted to see Obsession.
Oh, did you go?
I was like, isn't it scary? He's like, just come with me, Dad. I went. I loved it.
It was so good. So good.
Again, amazing concept. Like,
not
very
super original, but like, it's like the monkey paw is a thing.
Right. But the way they did it.
The execution
really was great. And what I will call just the right amount of jump scares and the right amount of blood. Like, not crazy, right? Like, I'm not watching fucking Saw, right? And I know there's things worse than Saw, but like, I'm not watching any of those.
You don't like the slasher ones? Like, you're not into like Halloween and stuff like that?
That's probably why I don't still watch them. I watched, I think Friday the 13th part 2 or 3 by myself one night when I was 8. And I think that just, I'm fucking terrible. So we watch Obsession. It's really good. Like I said, just the right amount. And there's usually at least one really disgusting scene, as there was in this. And I just kind of put my eyes up and turn away. So Stacy and I'm like, honey, I think this is supposed to be good. My wife and I go back and forth. We'll watch. Because of rewatchables, I make her watch a lot of late 80s, early 90s movies. And some of them she loves, and some of them she's like, why did you make me watch this? Because, you know, some of them are bad. And you know, like, me and you and like, you know, the rewatchables guys can appreciate it. She's not really one for appreciating when it's bad. Like, unless it's really, really bad. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like there's funny, like so funny, like so bad that it's funny and you can't miss it. If it's funny, like
Weapons. So we watched Weapons last night. I didn't even know who was in it. Like, I didn't even know it was what's her name and Josh Brolin. I was like, I love these people. Mm-hmm. So loved it.
Yeah, I've seen it twice now. Did you think it was scary?
Well, of course there were a couple jumpy parts.
They're scary, yeah. What's the aunt?
Gladys.
Aunt Gladys. I heard they're doing a spinoff with Gladys.
Yes, I heard that as well. But again, like, I always think like, because I always go right to Wikipedia afterwards because I want to hear how they thought of it. And it's like, who, like, to come up with the concept of like, because you'll usually read it, it'll be something like, yeah, I just decided, what if someone had mind control over a bunch of 17-year-olds? You know what I mean? Like, or a bunch of 7-year-olds. Like the impetus for a story like that, and then they execute it, right? Or even Obsession. And I didn't know Obsession was like this darling of like, they made it for 10 million and the guy was a nobody YouTuber.
No, 1 million, less than that.
Right. And then they made 380 million. It made almost as much as like Shrek Part 4 or whatever the fuck is out. And that gets me excited.
I'm glad it's coming up. I'm thinking I'm kind of been out on TV and I'm back in on movies.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like time commitment wise. I'm just like, I can't watch 10 hours of anything. I'll do my best to watch Dragons. I watch it on the bike and Monday morning, and I'm keeping up on dragons because that's my shit right there.
How are we feeling about season 4 or season 3?
I'm in. I've been really liking it. You?
I'm liking it. I do podcasts about it with my buddy.
You do a Thrones podcast?
Yep, do it right here on this channel. You don't like it? Don't listen to it.
Okay. I was gonna say, what's it called? It's like, nope. Hybrid Fitness Racing.
But this goes back to what we talked about. Do what you're passionate about.
Right.
The one yeah, if they don't like it, they'll tune off. Like they'll just change it. You mean, or they won't listen. Usually I'll put it at the back of another athlete or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan. I watch right after it's over. Typically, I'll watch what's his name, New Rock Stars, because so much happens and I can't keep track of all the factions. Like, do you know what's always going on? Are you always aware of all the factions?
And we're talking Dragon still?
Yeah.
I started reading Fire and Blood.
Oh, look at you.
So yeah.
So
I'm trying. Like, I used to be really scared of books, like, because I had this idea as like I read so slow, and whenever I start a book, I'm like, my objective is to finish it, and I just kind of change that. I'm like, let me just like actually enjoy the book that I'm reading. So yeah, Fire and Blood's like 700 pages, and it does not like, it's not narrative, right? So it doesn't like drive, the story doesn't drive forward. It is just like a history book of the Targaryen dynasty. So I'm like able now, when the show is happening, like the language that they're using and like some of the references, I didn't realize how many references I was missing. But I'm keeping up okay. And then I'll listen to like a podcast after, just to make sure I'm like,
which podcast do you listen to though?
The Ringer ones. I like, my boys on the watch. Andy Greenwald's my boy.
Why do you love him so much? More than CR? I'm a CR guy.
No, CR is the guy. CR is everybody's guy.
Right.
But I listen. They do a Talk to Thrones too. Sometimes I listen to Midnight Boys. Yeah, they're great. So yeah, I'm up. I know what's going on.
I'm way behind on podcasts. I used to run a lot more. That was a big thing. Or even driving. So like, I got this office now, so I'm never in the car. I used to drive even to the coffee shop or whatever. Maybe when my kids go to school. When I start driving my kids to school again, it'll bring some back. But yeah, I don't listen to Mal and Joe and Chris hardly ever. I will just listen to Chris and what's your guy's name? Andy's
just kind of out on it though. So there's not like a big, and they're more like how it's being made, how the story's being told versus like what's actually happening in the story. That's like,
right. But that's what I kind of like. I like the business end of it. So what was I going to say? I think, Bill had Klosterman back on, and I feel like that's what you and I should do. You should be my Klosterman. Come on, like once every like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Because we're just talking about whatever, right? You're a really good guest. You're fun to chat with. We should just do this.
If I should I do a Klosterman impression and just have like insanely deep thoughts on very small topics? Like, well, I was thinking you got to, in the most recent one, he was like, yeah, it's like when Chinese food was made, General Tso chicken. This reminds me of that. If I can come with some Klosterman takes, I'm in.
I sometimes, it's a little too much. You know what I mean? Sometimes he could be like a bit much. But usually I'm dying to hear what they're going to say about football. What was the last one they were talking about? Like his whole theory was like football won't be as popular. Maybe it's 10 years, maybe it's 30, but its time is coming. Kind of like HYROX. Like we don't know when it's going to change, but there will be a changeover.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem possible today, but he's like, listen, at one point, horse racing and boxing were the most popular things.
Right.
And who would have thought would have.
Right.
Boring.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Hopefully
HYROX sticks. I hope that HYROX is triathlon. That's kind of the
track.
No, I hope it's not track. I hope it's like triathlon.
Oh, triathlon.
Yeah, no.
So it's always in the mix, but just not the hip cool thing.
People still do it. It exists in its own world. Like there are diehard triathletes. It's not a fad. Like when it started, it probably was. And people are looking at HYROX, it'll go away. It's like CrossFit. It's not like CrossFit. It's just the leadership is just so different. The business side is just completely different. It's a consumer sport. CrossFit is not that. It's like they're just certifying coaches and charging affiliate fees. It's a terrible business, CrossFit. And now like this is not that.
we don't have to cover that because I've covered it too much. But I want to back up one thing. Are you a big Better Call Saul guy?
You know, I'm not.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm sorry. I know it was. I've like started the first season, but never like I didn't like sit down.
Listen, if you're up late with the baby, please do me a favor and watch it, because it's a show that on rewatch is like I'm putting it like I'm always Sopranos, Wire 1, 2, and like probably Breaking Bad 3, but it's already past Breaking Bad for me, and it might sneak up there to 2 sometime soon.
Okay.
I mean, once you know the story, when you go back and watch it, it's like amazing, heartbreaking. And there's a guy who does a video series of one of those, like, here's things you missed, but it's so good. And I basically rewatched the whole show now through him because his videos are so fucking good. He's called Better Watch TV, and there's like a bunch of inside jokes that you start to get on halfway through, or even in the first 5 videos. But man,
too much content, man. What is it? Was it like 5 seasons?
I know, but you don't think of it that way. I mean, that's like taking on a HYROX, being at the ski erg and being like, this is too hard. I'm never gonna make it to the aid station.
Same thing with like the books. Like I would be reading it, be like, oh, the end, like instead of enjoying the journey. But there's just like, I'm in on movies, man. I just told you.
All right. So what else? So what else have we seen then? Let's talk.
Project Hail Mary.
I'm making my son go see Odyssey with me, by the way.
I just bought tickets. You're going this week? You going Friday?
Going Friday. What are you going?
Next Thursday. I looked at this Thursday, and like the seat availability was like pretty poor for like a 2 p.m. in Denver. Like people aren't.
Well, the day it comes out, the seats were bad, so I went with the like 2 days later because it comes out like today or tomorrow. So I went Friday day.
So my wife and I have a deal. Every other Thursday, it's like our own night to do whatever we want. Oh, so nice. I've been going to the movies. That's what I do.
Project Hail Mary you loved.
Project Hail Mary was in on that. I read that book too. You see that?
I saw it. I didn't read it, dude. I haven't read a book in a decade.
I know. I'm just gonna guess that.
I used to be an avid reader.
No book reading now. You're just podcasting.
Well, I used to read books on the plane. There was no Wi-Fi. There was no smartphones.
Right. When there's less stuff to do.
So I like that. What else did you like?
I saw Hokum. It's
don't know that.
It's another like horror movie, spooky movie. Adam Scott is the lead. It's good. Obsession, incredible. Like I really, really liked Obsession. Have you seen any of his YouTube stuff then? Curry Barker?
I've not.
Him and Zach Kreger is actually like this too, the guy who did Weapons, who's also doing the Resident Evil movie later this year.
Yes.
They kind of came from sketch comedy.
Right, which I read that. I read that about Zach. I was like, sketch comedy. Like there was, of course, hilarious parts in the movie, but I was still surprised.
Yeah, it seems to be a thing. Like Jordan Peele, sketch comedy, and these other two who are like kind of like the faces of horror now. They just have like, I don't know why it translates, but it does. Curry Barker, same thing. He does like goofy YouTube shorts that are like funny and sometimes have like that like darkness in them, how like a Key and Peele will have.
Right.
Huge fan. I'm excited. I'm gonna rewatch that because that's on VOD now. The Drama. Have you seen that one? That's Robert Pattinson and Zendaya.
What's it called?
The Drama.
Don't know that one.
It was interesting for sure.
Hey, speaking of comedy, where are you on Tim Robinson?
I don't know. I tried to watch The Chair Company. Did you watch it?
So I watched it, and we don't like. I think the millennials like basically grew up with him, so they like know his like weird cringe sense of humor. And I was watching it, and I could tell Stacy was like hating it because I can kind of appreciate like the cringe humor, even if I'm not laughing. I just kind of appreciate the swing. But like, yeah, the longer it went, she was like, "I'm so fucking out on this." Like, I think I finished it without her, and the end was dumb. But like what the kids are into these days, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not, you know, I mean, I've seen like a couple of the skits, like the 99 burgers, 99 fries. Like I've seen that, but like, anyway.
It's just
you're not a big fan either.
I mean, like, it's just so off. Like, I think You Should Leave is just so off the wall that The Chair Company is actually a little bit more approachable because he's not a complete idiot. He's a big idiot, but he's not like a complete idiot in the show.
I think You Should Leave. It's worse.
Oh my! It's just so off the wall. It is just like so wacky. So if you're into like the wackiness, like there's some really good stuff and like it's so super memeable, right? So you probably have seen a lot of stuff, but that is just insane. So Chair Company is actually a little bit more approachable than I Think You Should Leave. So I'm okay. Like it's not my favorite type of humor, but like sometimes
again, I sometimes appreciate like you're doing something that nobody else is doing, and I do appreciate that. But I'm kind of also like, what is your point? Is it just
might not be for me? Yeah.
But is it just to be weird? Like, do you think it's fucking hilarious that you're? I mean, like, I'm not sure what that show was supposed to be. What was that show supposed to be?
I don't like a prestige whack. I don't know.
Speaking of prestige, did you see Widow's Bay?
No, that's one that I do want.
That's an easy one. There's only 6, I think, or 7. It's only 6 or 7 of them. Your wife would like it. 30.
Well, 30. Okay.
Maybe the final 2 are an hour.
Is it a little spooky?
Oh yeah, we talked about this whole idea of like blood and stuff, like that your wife doesn't like it
because she was out on task. Like we were watching.
Was she out on Obsession?
Well, she didn't come with me to Obsession.
Okay, she can handle. It's like I think I jump scared twice. It's way more like funny and kind of like, oh wow, I see what he did there, like with the form, if you will. But no, what's seen in Task was not watchable. She's more sensitive than me, and I'm sensitive.
Oh, there was.
So like she doesn't watch Thrones with you, I'm guessing, because there's always one good, disgusting, bloody.
Oh my god! I when Dragons came out, I was like, hey, this might be a conversation. Like people are gonna be watching this. Like, and in the first scene, Viserys's wife dies from from childbirth.
Oh yeah.
And like when it was happening, I was like, actually, like and like that was like that's not something she'd be interested in. Also, I was like, I forgot it was Game of Thrones. That was a bad move on my head. I was like, oh wait, this is still Game of Thrones. So yeah. So yeah, I'm solo on a lot of these.
I think she can handle Widow's Bay. I mean, it's like it's not even close to Obsession or Weapons. It's like a couple of it's like old school spooky stuff. It's like, it's and a lot of comedy. Like Stacey and I were laughing our ass off.
Yeah, I'm interested in that kind of like blended comedy horror situation. But I'm excited about the new season of Task. I tell people, I'm surprised how many people haven't seen it, because when people, especially when I'm like, I live on the west central west now. I'm like, have you seen, when they ask like where I'm from, I'm like, have you seen Task? Have you seen like Mayor of Easttown? Because that's exactly what I was trying to be. I was like, I'm like from there. That's like where.
Did you hang out at the quarry a lot when you were young?
There was definitely a quarry that people went to. I didn't go too much because that was like the thing. Slate belt.
Well, listen, I have a lot more questions for you, but I'm going to hold them because I think we're at a perfect 90-minute stopping point. We're gonna have you on once a season. Like, you're gonna be my closterman.
I like it. We'll do that.
All right. See you later, buddy.
Come on, later.